As much as I had left the job and I was looking for employment, I realized that I can be the job. What I do can be the job. And for me, that's what the positives that came out of COVID-19. My name is Kabelo Molepo. I bake for a living. I'm known as Daddy Bay as well.
My name is Poppy Louw, and I'm Kabelo's fiancé, and he bakes, I market. I met Kabelo 2008, so we were friends. We started off as friends, and we started dating in 2014. In fact, he was dating a friend of mine. I was dating a friend of his. But it was really just something that was meant to be. And throughout the years, I've seen Kabelo's passion in the kitchen. So it only made sense that this was the direction that he would take. And I'm just glad that I'm here to support him.
Before lockdown, I was working for a retail company, doing what I actually studied, because I am a qualified IT person, if I can call it that. I was working for the retail company in a back staff capacity in their trainee manager or their management program. That was a year before lockdown, and all the way up to like a few months before the actual lockdown. So what happened was that due to whatever reasons that the company had, I had not been progressed to the place where what I've been training for.
So when the lockdown happened, everything changed for us. I mean, psychologically, financially, there was a lot that we had to get used to. I was used to being out of the house between a certain time and a certain time, and then I had to see his face the whole time and deal with that and cabin fever. But I think for us, what the lockdown also, what it helped was we got to spend more time with our son, who lives in Kimberley with my family. So it gave us at least that time to bond, because in actual fact, that was the longest time we'd ever spent with him since he was born. 3 full months was the longest time we'd ever spent with him. So during the lockdown, what happened was that because there was nothing much to do apart from playing games, bonding, we had our friends suggest that we should do a lockdown cook-off. And it was the 4 of us, 2 couples, so they would cook and we would leave food at each other's doors, and we would rate each other's food on that. Kabelo, as the first contestant, ironically came dead last. But it was the chocolate chip cookies that he made for dessert that stood out for me. And it was then, when I was tasting them while he was preparing his meal, I said to him, you should actually consider selling these. And he thought I was joking, but he listens to me, which is a good thing. So we then tried that out, and within 2 days, we kept selling out. And that's when I said, okay, we're sitting on a gold mine here. Let's try to take this a little bit further. Then what we did was that we went to Mohammed Ali downstairs. He's the owner of the convenience shop, and he allowed us to sell our cookies without a markup and without charging us for shelf space. And it was that actually made me realize that, okay, on the days that I go to work, maybe I can take a couple of cookies too. And it also raised a lot more interest from my colleagues. I've got people who, whenever they see me, they will ask, where are the cookies? So I've just become the cookie lady now at the office. So, but there was so much support from that, and because we also punted everything on social media, we then gained more interest from Kimberley, from home. And people then kept on asking us, when are you bringing the cookies home? We want to taste these cookies that everyone is raving about. And we then went on Kabelo's birthday in June to launch the cookies in Kimberley. Completely sold out, 2 full containers. People were happy, and even now they're still asking, where are the cookies?
We don't have a storefront. We don't have an official store where we say this is where you can find the cookies. Our storefront is online, and it reaches more people, and it reaches a wider market. These are all things that with the lockdown we learned because we had the time. And with that time we took tutorials and found ways to learn how to use social media as an e-commerce tool. And from there it just blew up. We really owe a lot of our success to the love we get from social media.
We didn't know going into the lockdown that we'll be here today, but what we did know is that we were going to do whatever it takes to make it work. And that meant working on ourselves as much as it meant working on the business.
The positive out of lockdown would be it allowed myself and Poppy, I think, to expand into what we really wanted to do. We had a whole bunch of time, we had some resources, and we just decided that as much as you put into your 9 to 5, well, at least for me, as much as you put into your 9 to 5, the energy, the commitment, the desire, the tenacity, you can put that into yourself and into your own project, and you can work the same 9 to 5 hours for your own pet project or your own dream project, if I may put it like that. It is something that, for me, gave me the energy to do what I'm doing now. Because as much as I had left the job and I was looking for employment, I realized that I can be the job. What I do can be the job. And for me, that's what the positives that came out of COVID-19.
When you are the main breadwinner, there are so many challenges that you don't talk about, and you inadvertently take those out on your partner without realizing them. And it gave us time as a couple to also sit down and hash through all the issues that we've had in the previous years, so that we can actually start afresh following this. Had we not stepped up, had we not taken this on, I think as much as I have my full-time job, it would have still affected me, because at least with Daddy Bay, it gave me something to do. I was still getting to use my skills that I use at work. I was still able to utilize them in the business. And I think for me, that was quite helpful, because I'm not really a person who likes to sit around and not do anything. I mean, I'm a journalist, so we are always looking for the next story. We're always looking for the next thing to chew on. So I think that for me was quite beneficial, that I was able to shift my mind a little bit to something that I can have control over, much like my work. And it helped me actually in terms of even my work. It made a difference. So both, I was benefiting both at work and in Daddy Babe, because I'm able to exchange the skills. And yeah.
Where I am right now is I've been working on new products for Daddy Bay. I've been learning more business-orientated methods of how to operate Daddy Bay. And I've actually learned that from last year, I learned that I need to take time for myself. So at this point, I'm busy with a podcast and an IG live series with a couple of my friends reviewing movies. Movies, anime, music, and whatever anyone can throw at us, really.
So I can say where Daddy Bay is right now is that we recently launched the Little Sugar. The Little Sugar range is mostly because people were asking, don't you have any sugar-free or reduced sugar? In actual fact, our cookies are reduced sugar because I'm pre-diabetic. So Kabelo worked around recipes so that they could also be accommodating for me. And when the recipes call for 3 cups of sugar, he actually reduced it to 1. So that's also why our cookies are not overwhelmingly sweet, because we also know that the chocolate chips add a little bit of a sugar dimension to it. So we recently launched that, and then in March, we launched the kiddies range with our son, Leano, who's 5, who is the ambassador of the kiddies range. And he's just taken up to this like his dad. He's completely like his dad. And when he gets here, he'll be like, okay, mommy, when are we going to do deliveries? Papa, when are you baking? Every time he sees Kabelo sitting around, Papa, when are you baking, actually? So he's I call him my foreman, because he's the one who always just makes sure that my bakery is functioning well. Our biggest challenge right now is capacity, because as you can see, we've got one oven that we found here, and then an oven that was donated to us by one of our clients and mentor. She was so inspired by our story and said that we reminded her a lot of herself when she was starting her catering business. So she's got an even larger oven for us that's just waiting for us to find a space to operate from. We hope we're able to find an operating space. Even though it's someone who's got a bakery that can give us baking space for Saturdays and Sundays, then we can use their trays, because then we'll be able to churn out more at a time.
Anyone can literally get in touch with us, whether for orders or information. We generally look at Facebook first. So Daddy Bay's Kitchen on Facebook, you'll find our page there. You can also make orders through the page as well. On Instagram as well, Daddy Bay Cooks, at Daddy Bay Cooks. There you can make orders as well and find out information. And on Twitter, Real Daddy Bay. Whatever dream you have, whatever idea you have, whatever vision that you're holding, the first thing to do, literally, that's what I learned, is to just stand up and do it. I know it sounds weird or difficult, but come back from work. Work a little bit on your dream for a couple of hours before you go to bed. On the weekends, do something. Interact with people who are in line with what your vision is. And literally, the first thing you can do is stand up and do something. Get up in the morning, go buy that bread, go buy the ingredients. Even if you're just on Instagram and TikTok and recording yourself and taking pictures, start. Because you never really know where it might end up. I didn't know if the cookies would pick up, but I just started. And I started baking. I bought the ingredients, and this is what it's led me to at this moment.